Welcome to the family with
Alex Bernard Rasmussen.
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
And Andy Rampernard.
and a couple of Hunyucks too that will go nameless.
If you're in the metropolitan area of Minnesota,
Oh dear.
do not take 494 under any circumstances.
Oh,
They're doing something down there, and it is a disaster.
Why would you get on 494 instead of 100 anyway?
Because I dropped Jude
Oh,
off
that's right,
at
you did,
doggy
yeah.
daycare, and then I went over to the so Siri sent me on a wild goose chase to a non-existent Sherwin-Williams.
That's
So
great.
then I found a real Sherwin-Williams in Eden Prairie because I have to paint things.
at your
Sherwin
house?
Williams.
Yeah, there's a wall that the people that put in our movie theater equipment, they sawed out a piece of drywall and then just stuck it up there with a screw
Yeah,
mhm.
and never repaired it,
never repaired
which
it.
was behind a door, so I didn't know about that.
And also, they left a hole in the ceiling that was behind the screen, which we didn't know about either.
Yeah, and remember, it took an act of God and a lot of complaining to get them to come and repair that.
Yep.
Yeah, they were a great company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell
So
ya.
anyway, yeah, I've been running all over the place this morning, but
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
anywho,
Okay, the internet loves this topic and never seems to run out of answers. So it's trending on BuzzFeed right now. You guys, so what is BuzzFeed? That's got a news thing.
It's a bad news site. Yes.
Oh, is it a bad
news
site?
site? Why is it bad?
I mean, it's basically just like clickbait,
Oh,
mostly
it is.
garbage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is trending on BuzzFeed right now. What's something people do all the time without realizing they're being rude? And the reason I wanted to read this is because the very first one is the one that drives me insane. So we'll go from the bottom up. What do you think? Do you have any opinions on things that people do without realizing? And I think they do realize they're being rude. Actually, I would argue that point.
I accidentally did something rude yesterday.
What?
I was talking to our new neighbor, and we were talking about how you say something to children. They have a 6-year-old. And we were talking about how you say something to children, and they're like, "What?" And then you start saying it again, and they're like, "Got it," because it like takes them
Yeah.
a minute
Yeah.
to process, you know?
Right.
And she was saying, I thought she said, she took her finger and tapped under her eye. And I thought she said she taps her eye for a few hours a day. And I was like, oh, that's funny. But she said she has to patch her eye for a few hours a day. Like she has to wear an eye patch.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I said, oh, that's funny to the fact that she had to wear an eye patch. And I was like,
Whoops.
That was
so I was accidentally rude yesterday. You know?
Way to go. See, we
Well,
should
she
put that as number
She
5.
tapped under her eye when she said it. Patch, tap. I don't know.
Mm.
It was
I mean, things happen.
Yeah.
You know.
They
so. It doesn't happen. I think people can definitely unintentionally be rude because that was.
I
me
a lot of
yesterday.
times say things and I realize the person did not interpret what I said the right way. Because I
Yes.
got a look on their face.
Yes,
And
where
then
it's
I
like,
try to
"Oh."
over explain what I actually meant. And then I'm like, I'm sick of this conversation.
Already.
Can I
You're
just
already
leave
sick of
now?
Goodbye.
Speaking of that, by the way, I do have to leave the show at 10:30 today because I have to bring my car in for repairs, and the only time they had open was 10:45. So when I leave, it's not because they kicked me out.
I just love that you
Not today.
had it repaired with a piece of mulch. So
I did,
mean,
yes.
you know, the fact
I
that
did, exactly.
what?
I used to wedge a piece of mulch in so to keep the door closed.
Dad had
yeah.
his little the door to the charger thing
Yeah.
open, and he backed out and broke it off.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
So there was some piece that nobody could find to fix it. So he put it back on there, and then he wedged a piece of mulch in there.
Sure.
Kept the
keep it
door
shut.
closed.
I remember,
Oh my
yeah, because we were walking Ethan when we were babysitting him on Friday, and Ethan, it's amazing how a kid can instantly hone in on the tiniest little detail.
Yep, they sure can.
Yeah.
He runs right over there to take the piece of mulch out, and Tom's like, "No!"
He did. He took the piece of mulch
It's
right
like,
out.
well, I'll tell you, couldn't have found another stick or a piece
Yeah,
of
like,
mulch to shove
it's
in there.
okay.
Perfect mulch. It was perfect
It was
mulch.
the
Kinda
perfect
was.
mulch.
It was the perfect piece of mulch, but it was just so funny because, like,
it's
yeah,
like,
kids just can hone in on the tiniest little thing and
They
be
sure
like,
can.
let's take that out of there.
like, this doesn't belong here.
Yeah, nobody else would ever even notice it, but a 2.5-year-old definitely is going to
Oh,
notice
yeah,
it.
No question.
absolutely.
Okay, so here's the deal. The internet loves this topic and never seems to run out of answers. Do you know when you're being rude? Do you realize when you're being rude? Number 4, interrupting someone while they're looking at their phone. Well, that's every day with everyone because people are always looking at their phone.
Well, I think it's rude if you're with somebody and they're looking at their phone.
I agree.
I mean, people don't even say, excuse me, I've got to take this, or I'm expecting a call. So I'm sorry if I have to, look at my phone for a bit. People just start staring at their phone all the time.
They do.
And I think that's rude.
Well, I think it's dangerous as well. If you're walking down the street looking at your phone, you're very vulnerable. I would not do that if I were you. Bad idea.
I agree.
Okay, everyone accepts it's rude to look at your phone in the middle of a conversation, but it can be rude the other way too. Don't assume all phone activity is trivial. Well,
I agree,
That
but
is
you just say
true.
something. You just say, I have an important thing
Yeah.
going on, and
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take it.
Wait a minute, isn't that called communication? There you go.
That's what it was.
Number 3, trying to get on a subway car or bus before people get off. You want a seat, I get it, but you can't go in when they're coming
Or
out.
people with the elevator.
Yep.
Why are you trying to get in when people are trying to get out?
I know.
It's just a step aside. It will be so much faster.
Yep. I don't know. I understand why people do that.
Number
Number 2, when you're driving in a parking lot and let someone stop and let someone walk, then they take an extreme diagonal path and you just have to sit there and wait.
Yep.
Why would they? So you're letting them cross straight across and then go up.
I try not to care about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It
I
is
suppose.
slightly rude, but I try not to care about it because it's
I
like,
understand.
everybody's just trying to get wherever they got to go. I don't know.
Number 1 is Grandpa Bop Bop, your pal's least favorite of all of them because it drives me crazy. Hogging the sidewalk. A group of 3 or more people are walking toward you side by side and make no effort to let you pass. That happens all the time now.
It
They're-
does.
3 across. Could you just get the hell out of the way? I paid for the sidewalk too. Just move over, fall back, let me pass, and then get back shoulder to shoulder with your buddy. Who cares?
I agree. Making people step out into the road to get around you
Yeah,
is not
or on the grass.
nice. Yeah.
Why are people like that now? Do you have any speculation as why people are so rude now?
I just think we've been living in a I'm the only person that matters society for a long
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just feel like people don't pay attention
That's because
No, they
they're
don't.
not paying attention because
Yeah.
they don't care about other people.
because they're just like, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
And
That's sort of the epitome of being rude, isn't it? It's only thinking of yourself.
I would think so, yes. I don't need to do this whole story, but I got to run something by the children.
yes.
What is the most expensive toy ever sold? Anybody know?
It's probably going to be
A
like an
solid
original run
gold
Tickle Me Elmo that someone bought
Yeah.
for $50,000 or something.
Okay,
Dumb crap.
that's a good cat. Anybody have a guess? Anybody else?
A pony.
Well,
A
I mean,
pony?
It is an expensive toy.
It's
depends
very
on how you look
expensive.
at it.
It's very expensive. It lasts for years and it has to be fed.
Yes.
Any
Yeah.
other guesses?
No.
Okay,
Like a
no other guesses.
modded out Game Boy that's gold and diamonds. Like, I don't know.
The most expensive toy ever sold. It was a classic, no question about it. Is it Boba Fett? Is that how you say that?
I don't
Mhm.
even know what you're talking
A
about.
Boba Fett doll from Star Wars sold for $525,000.
What's a Boba Fett?
Boba Fett's a character.
It's a guy in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which one?
He's I don't know, he's a bounty hunter. He's got a mask with like a T shape cut into it. He's green.
I guess I'd have to see a picture.
If you
I haven't
saw him,
se-
you'd
I haven't
probably
seen a Star
recognize him.
Wars in many moons, so
Boba Fett, $525,000. But the good news is he's putting it back on the market at $768,000.
Mm.
Why would you ever pay that much money for a doll?
collectors are
I
a
guess.
different breed.
Yep, they
They
sure are.
They'll pay a lot of stuff to own a little slice of whatever it is that makes them happy.
That's Boba Fett.
Mom's seeing Boba Fett
I
now.
still don't
Here's the thing about
recognize-
Star
looks
Wars
like a knight in
characters.
shining armor.
Here's the thing about Star Wars characters. If you don't follow Star Wars, they all look kind of the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
they
like
do.
there's stormtroopers that
Yeah.
are white versions of Boba Fett that has. It's kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks
and Mandalorians all
dirty.
look exactly like Boba Fett to me.
Mandalorian looks exactly like I'm
And I
like,
think Boba Fett wears Mandalorian armor, and that's why. But
Yeah,
I don't.
and I'm like,
That's like extended universe stuff that I don't care
yeah,
about.
like all of the humanish characters all look the same to me, basically. That
Mm.
wear all the armor. I'm like, how do you tell the difference?
Yeah, or like all the Sith.
I don't
They
even know
all
what that
wear
is.
black robes and
The Sith.
look scary. They've all got red lightsabers.
Yeah, I don't.
All the evil Jedi guys kind of look the same.
Yeah,
Evil
I-
Jedi.
Yeah.
Now you're talking. Okay, I just saw a headline that just popped up, or I guess it popped up about an hour ago, a little over an hour ago, but I have not seen it. But we can guess. You ready?
Ready.
Prominent Edina personal injury lawyer admits to being drunk when he hit an I-35 worker and left the scene.
Oh.
I didn't know anything about
boy.
this. I have not seen the
That
name yet.
Is not good.
But do you think we know him?
No.
You don't think we'll know who it
I
is?
hope not.
No.
Fonnie, you got to get off the screen. There you go.
I don't know.
No guesses?
I have
No, we
not
can't
one
guess because you don't want to insult a lawyer because they'll
No,
sue
well, I don't know that many injury lawyers anyway.
you. Seeking justice.
Yeah,
Uh,
we only know one. There's
yeah,
only
well, that's right,
one.
exactly. I don't know this guy. Maybe some people do. Prominent Edina personal injury lawyer admits to being drunk when he hit I-35 worker and left the scene. Plea deal
Wow.
spares James Carey any jail time, instead calls for probation. Yeah, I'm looking at
What?
James Carey. Yeah,
You're
he gets probation.
drunk, you hit
Yeah,
someone,
and you get probation.
probation.
That's
Yep.
the law.
Naturally.
That's how it works now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty
interesting.
amazing.
Did you know that Jim Carrey's real name is James Carey?
Yes, I did. It's not the same
You're
guy.
kidding me.
What?
I will tell you, it's not the same guy. That's just a given. Yeah, I don't know this guy at all. I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, 4 criminal counts. This was in October.
4 criminal counts. He gets probation.
It's insane.
Well, that's the world now, isn't it? It's all about how power and money. Everything's about.
It's
He's a
about who
very
you know.
powerful. Yeah.
Did you hear
Okay.
that 60% of the money that went out to pay people for not working or whatever, or COVID, 60% of the money went to was fraudulently
Yeah.
used.
Well, who's the woman? The politician. She got
60%.
$15 million. The first thing she did was buy a Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
and the amazing thing about the 60% is the whoever was handing out the money, they didn't keep any records of anybody, so you can't even go back
Jesus,
after people to
unbelievable.
get it back.
Why does that happen? It's our tax money. Could you be careful with it?
Because America's just a big river of gold, and
I
if you've
guess.
got the right shaped bucket, you can scoop it up.
Well, the problem with the river of gold is we're now $36 trillion in debt.
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of scooping.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A lot of scooping, no question about it. Yeah, I just don't really understand why these people got away with this.
I don't know.
I mean, this woman got $15 million
Mm-hmm.
by saying that she had all these employees and I have all these offices open and I got to have all of this.
Look at feeding our future.
I
in
know.
Minnesota,
What a
250
slimy mess.
million. Just nobody was looking at anything.
No, you're absolutely right. I just, boy, you look at the Star Tribune, every story's political.
Yeah,
Every
well,
story.
that's basically a political publication.
Here's a good one. I just read the headlines because it's too depressing to read the stories. Race-based scholarships at Minnesota State University Moorhead, subject of new civil rights complaint.
Yeah, a farmer just won some sort of a case against the government for I don't know. It was some sort of program that was only given out to certain kinds of people.
Yeah.
And he sued and won.
Good.
So I think that people are starting to be like, hey, you know what? I should be able to get that money too.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to stop at some point, doesn't it?
I think
You would
people are
hope.
trying, but I don't know.
You think they're trying to make things better?
I think some people are trying. Yes,
I guess.
it's hard.
Who's Fire Rose?
Don't know.
Absolutely no idea.
Fire Rosa. Oh, Billy Ray Cyrus's wife, apparently. Billy Ray Cyrus files for divorce from Fire Rose after 7 months of marriage. Boy, that one lasts a long time. That went on
7
pretty-
whole months.
7 whole months.
They gave
together.
it. They gave it a shot. They
Yeah,
gave
I
it a good
guess.
shot.
I guess I just whatever. It all works out in the end. But so, what else is going on in the world? Anything important since I've been on the air all morning and I missed out on it?
Well, on Saturday, I did something I haven't done in probably 15 or more years.
Ran a mile.
I ate a salad.
Oh my God!
Hey,
Now that call the Star Tribune. You
How'd it
and-
go?
I'm sorry,
How'd
Star
it go?
Tribune. That's national news.
and how
National
and
news.
what happened?
It went fine, actually.
Hey-o.
I think having my gallbladder removed might have taken care of my salad issue.
That's
Well, see,
wonderful.
salad
Well,
is not. I
You've
thought-
had multiple organs removed.
Yeah.
Sure
So
have.
one
pretty
of
soon
them,
if you're down to one organ, it's just
Andy's
Yeah.
just going to be a floating organ.
Mhm.
Fawn Rasmussen.
It was
Yeah,
me. I
Fawn.
set a timer for them to read.
Way to
Ah,
go. Way to go, my friend. That's all I have to say to all of you. No question about it. I blame Fawn anyway. Even if it's not her fault, I still blame her.
You should.
Yeah. So how did you just make it this decision to? I mean,
Try
after all of
salad.
those years of being afraid of salad.
Well, all those years, every time I ate a salad, I felt horrible for
Yeah,
hours
That's what
afterwards.
I mean. So then, why did you all of a sudden go? Today's the day I should.
Dave, you gotta
Today
move,
for
buddy.
salad.
Well, we decided
You got to
that
move. You're on camera.
we figured, I got my gallbladder removed. It might be time to give it a try again.
Okay.
But I've also been feeling kind of bad since I got multiple surgeries and my stomach's been unhappy.
Mhm.
Right.
But then on that day, I was feeling pretty decent. And also, we didn't have Ethan to deal with. So I was like, if I feel sick, I can just go lay down for a while.
Right.
And I was like, let's just go for it. Because they served the salad with the wedding dinner, because that's what
Oh,
they
you
do.
ate it at the wedding.
Yeah, they just give you a salad. You don't ask for it. It just is there. And I'm like, you know what? Sure. It's small. So even if I do react to it, it's not going to be very much.
Mhm.
It's one of those tiny,
Dinner
10
salads,
leaves
yeah.
of lettuce with,
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But then on Monday, I ate a much bigger salad and that went fine too.
Wow. See,
So-
now I would never venture into unknown eating territory at a wedding away from home.
Well, for me,
I would
it wasn't
only
like
do
that
your,
at
it wasn't
home.
like your bell pepper thing.
Oh.
For me, it's just my stomach hurts a lot for like 2 hours.
Oh.
I don't have to, lock myself in the bathroom or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So worst case scenario, I would have just had to drive back to the hotel and lay there until my stomach felt better.
Oh.
But I was like, you know what? It's such a small amount of salad, whatever.
Well, that's amazing.
It's nice because, I missed salad. Salad's good.
I know salad is good,
You don't realize
especially in the summertime.
how
It's like-
convenient and nice it is to be able to eat that until you can't eat it anymore.
Sure.
I had such a good salad. Apparently, it's from Costco, and it's like in their deli area, and it's like kale and I think bulgur and chickpeas and all
Kind of
sorts of
sounds like they
deliciousness.
buy or these Cobb salads
I don't,
or
it
chopped
was,
salads. One
It
of the
was
two.
delicious. Highly recommend.
I don't like eating raw kale.
I don't like
Raw
eating
kale
raw
is
kale either.
gross.
No, I don't like raw kale either, but it's like tiny little
Mm.
diced up chunks and it's like
Okay.
got so much other stuff in it that it didn't bother me. Usually I find it bitter and
Yeah.
like fibery, too
Yeah.
fibrous and I
Yeah.
don't like it at all, but this was really tasty.
Huh.
Yeah. Highly recommend.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
There
Melissa
you
bought
go.
a salad for us when we were babysitting. It was a poppy seed dressing one.
Yep, that's the salad we ate when we got
That's
home.
good. I actually bought one. We went to Kowalski's and I bought that same salad. I was like, that was good.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I've been meaning to talk about that anyway. Do people here realize all the great supermarkets we have in this
It
state?
is phenomenal, the grocery stores
It's
that we have.
here.
It's crazy,
Like in
the
Florida,
choices.
when we're down in Florida, there's one Publix. It's really good.
Well, they have Whole Foods.
Yeah,
and
I
they
have Whole
they have a
Foods,
bunch
right,
of
yeah.
smaller ones. Like they have Sprouts.
Yeah, that's good too.
I really
Yeah.
like Sprouts.
Yep, that's
Sprouts
good.
is like a Fresh Thyme is up here.
Yeah,
Sprouts
Right.
is all over
Yes.
the South. I know that I think they originated in Arizona,
I think you're right.
and that's a nice store.
Well, your dad loved Sprouts.
He was a big fan.
Yeah, they
big
love
fan.
Sprouts.
My father would go into a grocery store and come back out 4 hours later
Yes.
because he would read every label. It was
Yeah.
excruciating. If he ever said, "Why don't you just pull into the grocery store? I just need a couple things," you're like, "Well, that's it.
That's our day.
I may as well just,
That's our
lay
day.
down in the back seat and take a nap because he's going to be in there for weeks."
That's pretty much true. But you
Yeah.
know, it's I don't know. It's what the hell and all. But seriously, you go to Kowalski's, it's phenomenal. You go to Lunds and Byerly's, it's phenomenal. You go down the list. Our supermarkets here are really really good.
Have any of
Cub
you-
They're
is
not cheap.
fantastic.
Oh, we went to a Cub yesterday.
Weird.
I haven't been to a Cub in a million years.
Size of a Metrodome.
Because the Cub that we went into used to be kind of dirty and gross.
Yeah, it's not anymore.
Yeah.
And I just
very
wanted
nice.
2 things. I thought I'll just try the Cub because I'm right there anyway. And it was huge. It was like a high V.
Hmm.
And, those high Vs are basically Targets with a gigantic grocery store.
Yeah.
And it was clean.
Hmm.
And we didn't even go into the gigantic produce section,
Oh,
which was
God,
the
it was
size of a
huge.
Byerly's, just
Yes.
the produce section
Yep.
alone. Remember just the drinks. Just the drinks were like a block long.
Well, literally, it went around 3 sides of the store.
It was ridiculous.
Have a lot to drink. It was a great
I
store.
personally am not a big fan of gigantic supermarkets
Hmm.
because I just sort of buy the same things over and over. I don't need to wander the aisles and have so many choices. I get it's like going into IKEA. I get overwhelmed and I just want to leave. I don't want to walk.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk like one of those super Walmarts. I don't want to have to walk a mile to go find a washcloth.
Yeah. No, I
it's
understand.
just it's too much.
What was that store we went into to buy those plants?
Home Goods.
Home Goods. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, you've probably never been in a Home
I don't think I've
Goods.
ever been in Home Goods. I was in one yesterday. We were looking for some plants for the house and all that
We were
stuff.
looking for some fake plants for staging,
Oh yeah, Home Goods.
Mm.
Talk about a place that you can just like wander around and find the weirdest
But
stuff.
it's not that huge. It's not
No.
that huge. But I've always found like decent things in there.
There were because you line up and they have these different stalls you go to.
Oh,
Number 4, number 5, number 11.
Cashiers, you mean?
Cashiers, yeah,
mhm.
not stalls.
Yeah,
cashiers.
there's 15 cashier desks.
15 cashier desks, and there were at least 25 people in line.
Yeah,
God, it was
we were
busy.
only 4th or 5th in line,
Yeah.
which took forever. And then we turned around and
It's like, oh, man.
because we went at 6:30 on a Tuesday.
Hmm.
I'm thinking it's dinner time. It'll be quiet here. I guess this is Home Goods is packed every night.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
6:30 is not the optimal time. I don't know when the optimal time is because I've been in Home Goods many, many times. And there's always a line. They must do really great business.
Well, they said they're always busy. The cashier said we are always busy now,
Yeah.
which is good news. That's great news.
Well, they have, I mean, that little outdoor seating thing that they had for I think it was $400.
Hmm.
If you're trying to buy that anywhere, that'd be $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where they get their stuff from. Is it stuff that people have returned? Is it overstock
I don't
stuff
know.
from somewhere else? How do they do it? I don't understand.
I want to run this by everybody on the show because we have basically, well, two different age groups, but 4 different ages. What this means to you guys, I would like to hear because it looks like it's great news. Inflation eased in May, improving the odds of a 2024 rate cut. What do you think?
Well, I think they have got to have some sort of relief for people because people are very upset with how expensive it is to live. So, and there's a lot of people that want to move and can't because they can't buy anything at 7% interest rates.
7.8%
Yeah.
interest rates too.
And then we've been being promised a rate
Yep.
cut for how long?
Couple of years.
And even the tiniest little rate cut, when it went down to like 6.4, people were buying houses. Like all of a sudden they were like, oh my
Yeah,
God, it might
yeah.
not ever be this low again. And it just shot right back up. So I think it's time for them to do something for people.
What do you young guys think?
They don't care.
You don't care about rate
Mm,
cuts?
I
They're
would-
entrenched. They're in their houses. They have good rates.
That's
They're
true.
not going
Yeah.
anywhere anytime soon.
Oh, you do both have good rates?
Yeah. Alex and Dan bought their
We
house,
have-
what, 9 years ago?
It'll be 11 in November.
Really,
so
11.
you probably.
We have
Yeah,
We bought it like the perfect
did.
time.
you really did.
I know, because we were like, should we buy before we get married? But then it was like rates were so fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I did
we're
not
not going
know
anywhere.
this. It's at 7 Andy, what do you think? You like the rates?
I mean, they
What-
could always be, but the rates aren't really
No,
the
what you
problem,
paid.
though.
You
Oh,
paid.
Yeah, we got a pretty good rate.
Yeah.
But the rates aren't really the problem. The problem is the inflated pricing.
Well, it's
Well,
both.
that's true.
It's
It
both
is
combined.
both, yeah.
And then you're paying huge taxes on, and that
Yep.
just keeps going up every single year.
Exactly.
Sometimes 22, 30% raises in certain
Mhm.
areas. It's just, I mean, I don't know. How do people stay in a house?
What's kind of weird to me is you got Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, and Minneapolis, St. Paul, the four highest, most expensive places to live in America. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, Minnesota's like the fourth most expensive place to live in America. A lot of that is taxes too. And I should mention, by the way, back to the inflation, improving the odds. Yeah, you talked about, hey, it's down to 6%. Before this whole thing even started several years ago, the rates to buy a house were between 2 and 3%.
That was nice.
I mean, 2 and 3%, you've almost tripled it. Well, you have. If a 2, you've quadrupled it. A 3, you've almost tripled it. Why did the rate ever get that high? Anyway, again, we are $36 trillion in debt.
That's
that
why.
ain't helping.
That's why.
Why don't we do something about that?
Because the government has to tax and spend, because then they make the programs that make the people happy and
Yep.
make
He's
people
on camera
vote.
again, Alex.
Giving money to the people so they'll vote for you. That's all it is.
That is what it is. It's buying votes with our money, isn't it?
And by the time the economy's bad enough to have anything bad
Well-
happen, they'll be either dead or retired.
Yeah,
So
I
what
mean,
do they
like,
care?
Biden just completely ignoring the Supreme Court ruling about student loan relief.
Right.
I
Yep.
just don't understand how is that okay?
It doesn't matter. He's so old. What does he care?
Well, he can, I guess, and they just let him get away with it.
Yeah, I guess.
Just magically, he just says, "This is what I'm doing. I don't care what anybody says," and everybody goes, "Okay," even though it's
Mhm.
illegal. We're going to do it anyhow.
What are they going to do about it? You can't remove a sitting president.
But it's like, how many students did he do that for, and how many students are going to be voting for him now?
Yep,
That's
exactly.
what this is all about.
Yes, it is.
Because I don't think he can win on merit.
No, he cannot.
Probably not anyway. God. Have
I'm
you guys-
wondering if they're going to not even have him run.
It's getting pretty close.
They're talking
time.
about that now, Andy.
He's
They-
just
let's
so.
come up.
No one likes him. No one.
Oh, certain people, Minnesotans, I'm sure love him.
Well, they love him because he's a Democrat. They'll love any Democrat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like him specifically, no one actually really likes him because he's not good at anything
He's good at being a politician for life.
somehow.
They're good at making money. They've made a lot of money off of being politicians, no doubt about that. What do you think is
All
going to
do.
happen with his son? He said he is not going to pardon his son if he gets.
Well, first of all, he didn't murder anybody. He didn't
No.
shoot anybody. He's
No.
not going to go to jail.
They think he might go to jail for up to like 4 or 5 months.
He's not going to jail.
You don't think so?
No. he
You
didn't
think
ki- he
Trump's
didn't
going to
murder-
jail?
I bet they'll try. I'm sure he'll do at least 60 days or something like that. They will definitely do that because it's a kangaroo court. They can do whatever they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure can.
So it'd be interesting because what I've heard is that Trump may get a few months.
Yep. For
And
sure.
I also heard that Hunter Biden might get 30 days
I
or
doubt it.
45 days or whatever.
I doubt it. Maybe he'll get 3 days.
3 days in the big
Maybe.
house.
3 days with an ankle bracelet in a luxury suite at
Yep.
the Ritz.
So what do you
Exactly.
do?
Hunter
Applied
Biden.
on a federal form.
Yep.
He applied for
Okay.
a gun permit, and the questionnaire about getting guns is it? Have you ever? I think it's. Didn't he have a drug charge too, at one time? Did he have any drug charges?
I think you're right. I'm not certain about that, but I think that is true.
But you're supposed to be, say if you've been using drugs, like even marijuana, you're not supposed to have a gun.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and the guy was posting videos of himself smoking crack constantly while he was on his laptop.
Hunter Biden
Hunter
was
Biden.
smoking crack.
He constantly
was a
smoked crack.
Constantly. Where have you been?
addict, yeah.
This has been a huge story for like 3 years.
Yeah, pay attention.
The laptop that 21 FBI agents said didn't exist
Yeah.
and wasn't legitimate has
Yep.
just been used in a court of law to convict him of the gun
Yeah,
charges.
that's exactly
It's-
right.
You just can't even make it up. You can't even make this stuff up.
It is so sad because our federal law enforcement is filthy now.
Oh boy, is it ever?
It's not really unfortunate. Well, you and I went through it with the FBI. They screwed us over completely. I mean, they did. There's no question that on earth they did because they just, wouldn't agree with their politics. First of all, if you're an FBI agent, why do you have politics anyway? You need to serve the people, not just the people you agree with.
Yep.
I don't understand that.
Because you get advanced, your career gets
Yeah,
advanced if you do
that's-
agree with the same people.
So that is
that
what
are-
it's all about. It's all about
Absolutely, everything is
money.
The medical system now is all about money. Politics is all about money. Everything's all about money. There's just so much money for them to make.
That's really too bad. Elon Musk boundary blurring relationships with women at SpaceX. What the hell's that? What do they mean by that boundary blurring?
It means they don't have anything on him, but they're going to make it sound like they do.
Oh, so is that what this is, Andy?
It's just character assassination.
They're going to make it sound like he. When Elon Musk personally contacted a former SpaceX engineering intern to discuss a role on his executive staff in 2017, the woman spoke with excitement to her friends about a high-profile problem-solving role at the rocket company, a dream for someone a few years out of college. She and Musk had met years earlier during her internship when she was still in college. She'd approached him about, she kind of wanted to work for him. Sounds like she wanted to do this whole thing. Oh, great. The end of the story just disappeared.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
It was clickbait. It just
course.
disappeared.
Yeah, they want you to sign up for their site and give you their data so they can sell it.
so they won't tell me what they mean
They
by
probably
this.
just made crap up.
Well, that's probably pretty accurate too, I would guess. I don't know. The whole thing is, I just, between Trump going to prison and Hunter Biden going to prison, or no, they're not, or yes, they are.
Well, Trump will go to prison because it's New York.
Do you know, even at this point, and I want to run this by Andy and Alex as well, because it's your generation. Well, they're younger than you, but you're much closer to that generation. Do you know the backing of Hamas or Palestine and the backing of Israel is right down political lines?
Absolutely.
Well, of course it is.
But why? So you can't ever cross those lines anymore. You are either a Democrat or you're a Republican,
Yep.
and you need to stay on our side and don't ever go to the other side. How is that even possible?
Because beating the war drum is a very effective tool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, it
that's
makes
exactly
me
what
sad.
they're doing.
I suppose I do have an opinion. I don't really have an opinion on the Middle East because I've never been to Israel. I've never been to Palestine, all the rest of it. But I grew up around Jews, Jews, blacks, and Catholics. That's who I grew up around. So I support all Jews except for Josh Arnold. Thank you very much. Great to be here. No, Josh is a dear friend. But isn't it just, I guess what I'm asking is, isn't it where you grew up, how you grew up, who you know? I mean, we didn't all grow up the same in the same areas. So, I mean, how does it go down political lines? Wouldn't it be a personal thing, not a political thing?
Well, right now, politics is all about what color your skin is.
Yep, that's the only
God.
thing anyone cares about.
Isn't that just sad? This is all you got. This is what caused problems for centuries. And now we're right back to doing it, but just a different group
Well,
of
the
people.
great thing about having problems is you can say what a huge problem everything is, and I've got the solution.
Yeah.
So vote for me.
But I mean, I'm talking about it, people in general. You wouldn't just, I'm pretty much a centrist now anyway. I've been a Democrat, I've been a Republican. I'm kind of down the center now. But even when I was one or the other, I would have an opinion on Jews. Look, I got nothing against Palestinians. I'm not wild about Gaza murdering everyone they touch. That's not the greatest I've ever seen.
No.
But I just don't understand how you all have the exact same opinion in your political party. You had much different lives. How could you all have the same opinion?
Well, they don't. They stay in line.
So they just staying in line with their party. That's what
Yep.
they do.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because they get more benefits from this party than that party. Because that's
Safety-
about
there's
money
safety
too.
in numbers.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's herd mentality.
I find that very, very sad. I got to be honest with you. The fact that we are not all the same. We didn't live the same lives. We cannot all be grouped together just because of our skin color. Are we ever going to learn that?
No, I just don't think you're ever going to be able to make sense of most of it because it's just being used so well for political gain.
Is this being taught in our schools?
Yeah,
Yes,
look at
absolutely.
the colleges. The colleges are the ones that started
Yeah,
all
they
of
are.
this.
universities
Yeah.
are ground zero for all of this.
Yes.
There is no question about it. And why do they want to do that? Again, is that all about money too?
Yep.
It's all about donations, isn't it?
Well, it's about consolidating power for their side.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, there was just a story on Twitter this morning, which is going to be really deep down. I probably won't be able to figure out where it is, where these women were marching through a park with swastika signs
I heard that. Yeah.
in Canada. It was Toronto.
In Canada?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Canada's
it was in Canada.
really gone nuts.
Sounds like a false flag.
You
What?
think so?
It's almost always a false flag. It's people pretend to be Nazis so they can go to their the journalists can say, "Look, everyone, the Nazis are coming. You
God.
better vote for the right party."
Oh, there was video and everything.
Well, yeah, I'm
No,
sure
they
And
do it.
listen, yeah, I mean, anybody can go walking around
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
anything. It doesn't
Anyone
really
can
doesn't
do
matter
that.
that it's going to make an impact.
Yep.
Like it's just
Well,
people being
You never
crazy.
saw that kind of crap a year ago.
Yes, you did.
Oh yeah,
You've been
did.
seeing this forever.
Yeah, people do.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
It's all fodder so that they can point at a fake threat and say, "You better vote for me, or else this threat's going to come get you."
I suppose.
Fake hate crimes have been probably the number one driving factor for a lot of people since I don't even know, probably the last 30 years.
All right, I got to go in 1 minute, so I got to close with this story. I got to get a laugh at the end, don't you think? We need a laugh.
We like a laugh.
We do. BBC anchor Mariam Moshiri was doing a story on a type of mouse native to Northern Europe and how they'd been released back into their natural habitat. But the teleprompter said habit, didn't say habitat, it said habit. The teleprompter said habit. So here's what she said. Realizing it was wrong, she said, they're being released into their natural habit. And I'm Ron Burgundy. I think that's very funny. She claimed to be Ron Burgundy. Oh, God, Catherine, you have no sense of humor. That's all I have to say.
I don't.
Probably
Never
doesn't even
have.
know what that means.
yeah, she probably is.
You know who Ron Burgundy is.
Why?
Anchorman.
There you go.
Oh, Anchorman.
Yeah,
Well,
Anchorman.
you know
I've
what?
never actually seen
Me neither.
Anchorman.
Never actually saw it. I've heard many references to him.
Yes.
The character, but I've never.
You should watch it. It's silly, but it's
good.
it's funny and silly.
There's all
and
kinds
dumb.
of movies that are constantly quoted that I haven't seen, and that is
You gotta
one of
watch
them.
them. You gotta watch them.
Yeah, Catherine, let's go. Get off your high horse.
It's not a high horse, just something I never watched. I don't know why.
Understand. All right, I do have to get going because I have a 10:45 appointment that I have to get to. But you guys
Farewell to thee.
carry on from here.
Mhm.
Okay.
All righty.
Maybe he'll just have to buy a $500 piece of mulch.
Yeah,
There you go.
The new fix. The new
The
fix
new
is
fix.
mulch. He goes to the parts window and they hand him a chunk of
There you
mulch.
go. This is a fancy plastic.
Hilarious.
Oh, boy.
So how's it going?